Hi, I'm Reverend Tom Kearns. Welcome to 333 Magic 9, your astrology and tarot channel. Now, this video is not an endorsement of any candidate. It is an explanation of the astrological energies that may have an effect on the 2024 presidential elections. The birth charts of Joe Biden and Donald Trump will be used to examine the effects of Jupiter, which is the green line, or Zeus in Greek mythology, Saturn, which is the red line, and that is also known as Kronos in Greek mythology, and Uranus, which is the planet of chaos or genius. And we'll look at the effect these energies may have on each candidate. Now, I would like to say that astrology is a complex symbolic language and it can be confusing. So I will try to make this presentation as straightforward and easy as possible. This is the symbol for Jupiter or Zeus. It has the crescent of the moon transcending the cross of matter. So spirituality basically over the cross of matter. He is the king of the gods, the great of fortune, and the king of justice. He represents growth, abundance, potential, and justice. He can be too optimistic and bombastic. As the king of justice, he hates liars and cheaters and may unleash his lightning bolts at them. This is the symbol of Saturn or Kronos. It has the cross of matter transcending the spirit or soul. So matter is more important than the reality of spirit or soul. So he was the father of Zeus and is known as the Lord of Karma. He represents tradition, discipline, order, and limitation. He is the lawgiver and also represented agriculture and wealth. His energy is captured in the proverb, "As you sow, so you shall reap." This is the symbol for Uranus. He was the father of Saturn and was castrated by his son. He represents sudden and unexpected events. You can see he has the crescent on both sides of the cross of matter transcending the circle of spirit. So this is a very unusual energy. So again, he represents sudden and unexpected events. He is called the Awakener. He represents genius, new technology, and future trends. His negative side is willfulness, chaos, divorce, separation, and upheaval. The planets Jupiter and Saturn are different in the nature of their energy, but they both represent a needed part of the social structure and collective traditions. Uranus is the planet of sudden and unexpected change and chaos and the future. He does not mix well with Saturn, but he may get along much better with Jupiter. So the energies of these two are basically opposites, and these can be complementary. Transits are the current movement of the planets in relationship to the fixed positions that were in a particular sign and house at birth. So this is the transit of Jupiter, this motion or this path, and it will cross over Uranus and Saturn and affect also some of the other planets in the birth chart. Saturn will be transiting Pisces all year. This will place him in Joe Biden's third house. He creates a difficult energy with natal Saturn that is called a square. Saturn in the third house demands clarity of mind, focused ideas, and sharp communication skills. On the negative side, he brings challenges through communications and close relatives. So there may be more information coming to light in that area. Late February and early March may bring a bumpy time when difficult information or legal issues come to light into the public eye. Saturn will be transiting Donald Trump's seventh house all year. This is the house of business and personal relationships, legal issues, open enemies, and the public. Saturn can bring difficult legal issues and problems through public relations or personal relationships. Trump's enemies will be relentless. Fortunately, Saturn in this house is in the house of his accidental dignity. This may help alleviate some problems, but the key will be how the public perceives Trump's reactions. If they feel he is cold, being a bully, or revengeful, this energy will work against him. If he has broken the law, he will have to pay a price. But if he is not guilty, things will go his way. Remember, Saturn is the lord of karma. As you sow, so you will reap. A major challenge occurs in the middle of April when Jupiter and Uranus make a conjunction at 21 degrees Taurus. This energy has been building a long time, and its effects can unfold over a few months. It can represent great opportunity, changes in behavior, or unexpected loss. People must not be willful or violent, and markets may have a very strong effect because of this combination. Jupiter tends to be optimistic, and the markets are ruled by Taurus, and that's the sign that Uranus is in, and this will have an effect on new technology. Now, this energy will be transiting the sixth house of Joe Biden, which is the house of daily routine, work, and health. There may be some unexpected changes in these areas. More importantly, this position is in direct opposition to his 12th house planets, and especially Mercury. The 12th house is the house of karma and self-undoing. Mercury is the planet of information and communications. This suggests some hidden information may be revealed that can be very damaging. Uranus is also the planet of divorce and revolution, so someone close to him may revolt against him. Now, Trump has this energy up in the ninth house of his chart, and it is very close to the midheaven. The ninth house is the house of ambition, people and things at a distance, higher education, abstract concepts behind our culture and laws, religion and philosophy. Watch the news, and you will see how Uranus has affected these areas already. This can suggest that Trump must be very careful with what he says, or he will appear too willful and autocratic. And that's particularly because there's a square that is applying or beginning to apply to his Mars in Leo, which is on his ascendant. So the legal efforts against him may fall apart if he is careful or come to a sudden end, because Jupiter is the ruler of this house and justice. So that may be helpful for him. There may also be an unexpected international event that can either help or hurt him, because this is the house of people at a distance. Now, Uranus will conjunct the midheaven, which is the point of professional achievement and reputation, and then go retrograde. So some powerful energies that can empower him, but he must also stay very much in control of his actions and reactions. Now, Jupiter, in both cases, will be separating from Uranus and be entering into the sign of Gemini at the end of May, and that will continue throughout the year. Uranus will remain in Taurus, which will put him in opposition again to the Scorpio planets in Joe Biden's chart, and his 12th house Sun and Mercury and Venus, basically. But it will stay in conjunction to Trump's midheaven. And again, since Uranus is so unstable and we never really know what it's going to do, we'll have to watch that effect carefully. Now, let us look at Jupiter as he moves through the sign of Gemini, and that is his opposite sign. So that can cause a little bit of a commotion because he tends to be very verbose in Gemini. So Jupiter will transit Joe Biden's 7th house leading up to the election, and he will transit Donald Trump's 10th house. So first let's look at Joe. So taken alone, Jupiter in the 7th house is good news for any type of public relations, coming before the public, working with partners, things of that nature. This is very good news. Jupiter is very protective, and this can help people going through any type of legal problems, maybe dealing with creating a new partnership. That might also be here. But Jupiter will react and interact with both the natal Saturn and Uranus in Joe Biden's chart and the transiting Saturn, and that will happen in, I think, mid-August. So that can throw a little cold water on Jupiter for certain. So as Jupiter is going through the 7th house, this energy can cause some communications problems or problems with partners or with the public, and that is particularly true as Saturn is squaring Jupiter. Now, since the 7th house is also one of the houses that deals with justice, and Jupiter is the king of justice, any type of injustice will have to be dealt with, and in another way of saying this, justice will be done. Now, as we look up into Donald Trump's chart, we can see that Jupiter will be transiting up in the 10th house. This is the house in everybody's chart of achievement and recognition. And you have to remember that Jupiter is the greater fortune. So this is a very powerful omen for success. And it's not just success, but a major success. Now, the reason for the major success is that Jupiter will conjunct Trump's Sun, North Node, and his Uranus. So again, this is powerful energy, and it points to elevation and success. However, there is a warning. Remember, Saturn will be squaring that Jupiter transit, so that has to be taken into consideration. So there could be some setbacks, and again, I believe that's in the middle of August. So what has to be said here is that Jupiter is in his opposite sign, and he tends to exaggerate and blow one's ego out of proportion. And this can be damaging to Trump if he takes success for granted. Also, Jupiter will be going retrograde on October 9th. So he should be prepared, and his campaign should be prepared for any type of October surprise. And that will coincide with the retrograde motion of Uranus, which is right on his midheaven. So to be successful, he needs to express humility, and he must be willing to make adjustments. But overall, this is major success. As a quick recap, Jupiter will conjunct Trump's Sun, North Node, and Uranus in the 10th house. At the same time, Uranus will be going over his midheaven. So that energy may indeed suggest a landslide victory. However, too much energy can be dangerous, and he has been known to bring out the worst in his enemies. So if Trump wins big, we will have to be careful that there is not violence. Now, if you find it hard to understand why Donald Trump arouses so much love from his followers and so much hate from the people who do not like him, all we need to do is look at the chart of the United States of America. And we will see that Trump has Mars in his chart on the ascendant, which is a very, very strong placement. Mars is the god of war and the planet of desire. It is in the sign of Leo, which is the sign of the king. So on the ascendant, he projects that kind of energy. His moon is in Sagittarius, and that is also a fire sign. But the real key may be the Sun, Uranus, and Node in Gemini, which conjuncts the Mars placement of the United States of America. Remember, Mars is the god of war, and in Trump's chart, Uranus is the god of chaos. And people always say that chaos follows Donald Trump, but he isn't causing it. It's usually other people that are causing the chaos. There are two other planets that I need to mention because of the energies and how they are affecting the country and society. The first is Neptune, or Poseidon, who rules the oceans, and the second is Pluto, or Hades, who ruled the underworld. I will show you their positions and tell you how they have been affecting the chart of the United States of America and therefore our culture and society. Neptune has been in opposition to the birth Neptune of the United States, and Pluto has been transiting over the birth placement of Pluto. That happens once every 248 years. Now, Neptune is the planet of the imagination or illusion and sometimes deceit. Or as Karl Marx once said, and accidentally captured the energy of Neptune, religion is the opiate of the masses. And what he meant by that is any type of belief system can be the opiate of the masses. So the Neptune opposition to Neptune in the United States chart suggests that there has been a lot of deception and dissemination of victimization that has exploited the masses using the power of the media and created a sense of martyr consciousness. And that has really infected society and has led to delusional mass hypnosis and plenty of inappropriate activity. We can even see that as it has affected the border, because Neptune dissolves borders, and we can also see it with the fentanyl crisis and the crisis in spirituality in the United States. Pluto is the planet of death and resurrection. And again, Pluto has been transiting the placement of the birth Pluto of the United States. So Pluto is Hades in Greek mythology, and he purges false forms. And since he has been in Capricorn, the sign of bureaucracy, he has exposed the manipulation of power that must be destroyed so the original purpose can be regenerated. Pluto is moving into the sign Aquarius, which may well begin to expose some of the poisons of socialism. So we are going through this generational crisis like we have never seen before in history. So keep the faith and make adjustments to life as you must. I'd like to thank you for watching. I'd like to thank you for listening. Please like my videos and share them with your friends. And remember, this is the best time to prepare for 2024 with a private psychic and spiritual reading or a natal transit astrology chart. And you can order them at my website, professorastrology.com. And I hope you have a fabulous new year.